Hello Udemy, I am Shazad Ahmed from Teachlr.com and welcome in lecture number 21. Today we are going to start our section, which is the database sections, and we have just covered our helpers, some useful helpers using CodingNighter. Make sure this is the CodingNighter series, and also this is the fast track. So we are going to cover maximum things in minimum time, so that's why I'm saying this is the fast track. So go to your application folder. First of all, go to your config database.php. Make sure we have created a database named CI fast. So before starting, go to your localhost, find phpMyAdmin. I'm using the XAMPP. Okay, so this is your CI fast. Make sure we don't have any tables. So if you want to create the tables from here, you can also create from here, or if you want to create your tables, or if you want to manage your database using a tool, for suppose if you have a data grid tool, you can manipulate your data, you can manage your database using data tool. So I'm going to explain how it works. So in this time I'm saying delete. For suppose, how can you start? You can add your database by clicking file, data source. I'm saying write your name. In this time I'm saying localhost, or I'm saying CI fast. What is your database name? I'm saying CI fast is the database name. What is the username? In this time I'm saying root is the username and password is empty. Test connections. It's saying successfully. Apply. Okay, so now you can see you have your database, you have your schema, and you have your database. So new tables, we are going to create a table. For suppose, how can you create your tables? Give your tables name. For suppose, in this time I'm saying users. Add your columns ID. I'm saying auto increment. This is the primary key and also not null. Okay, I'm saying that username, or in this time I'm saying this is not null. Username is the varchar field, and I think 50 is enough for username. And I'm saying email. In this time I'm saying varchar, so 200 I think enough, so this is also not null. So password, and in this time I'm saying this is varchar or 200. Okay, so this is also not null. You can add your date and more than one column. So okay, this is fine for now. You can also erase your column by clicking this button. So we have created 4 columns, and now you can see this tool is generating the SQL statement. So execute it, and you can see we have just created a column, a table name, users, and some columns. So go to your database from phpMyAdmin. So you can see we have just created your columns. First of all, how can you add your records if you don't have any record? So you can add your record by using SQL. First of all, you can also add your record by using this tool, or you can also add your record. For suppose if I want to add some record here, so I'm saying insert, so provide your record. So this is auto increment, so you don't need to provide the ID. I'm saying Sheikh, the email is, for suppose, sheikh@hotmail.com, and password is KK. Make sure we are going to add 2 values. I'm saying Sadia, and now I'm saying Sadia@hotmail.com, and now I'm saying password is MM. Make sure we are not converting this password. Okay, so hit the button, go to your user table. We have just 2 records. So before starting, we have to create the table so we can work further. So first of all, I'm going to explain what is ORM tool. ORM tool, that means object relational mapping. If you are working on object oriented environment, you can see we are working on object oriented environment. So you have your class, you have your methods, you have definitely you have your properties, you have your values, and if you are working on database, definitely you have your database, you have your tables, and you have your records in the form of rows and columns. So how can you map your objects or your properties with your database? For suppose, while working on PHP 5, you always, first of all, you have to create your queries. In this time I'm saying select static from users, for suppose, and then you can keep this inside a variable, then you can execute this query. For suppose query execute, and you have to provide this query, then you can fetch the result. For suppose assoc array, for suppose I'm just telling you, so this is not a real syntax. So after that you get some results. So this is time consuming, first of all. So why you need to create your queries, why you need to execute your queries, why you need to explain which data you want to retrieve from the database. By using ORM tool, you just need to provide the table name and your fields. The beauty of ORM tool, it can get you all the records from the database. It can also create the query for you. So if you are working on ORM tool, make sure coding writer is providing you the ORM tool. First of all, you can call the DB class first of all, then you need to call the select item. What you need, you just need to pass you need to pass the table name. For suppose users, there we go, and you can keep this in a variable. For suppose my results. So you can reduce your time, you can reduce your code by using this DB class. So it's total. Now we are going to learn how can you use your query builder. So open your coding writer, not library, in this time this is database. Okay, so first of all, how can you connection to a database? How can you connect with your database? They are telling you that go to your database and provide some settings like database name and username and password. So how can you run your query? First of all, if you are creating your query from scratch, for suppose, okay, now I am at the home controller. Now we are using the home controller. So cut this bad boy and paste this bad boy here. Here I'm saying this DB cat and just provide the table name. In this time I'm saying users. So go to your root and execute home controller. You can see it's giving you an error. It's saying undefined property because you have to load this before calling DB class. So go to your config autoload.php and find the libraries. You can see we have a database. Provide the database class or database library. So you have just loaded your database library globally. Now go to your page, refresh the page. You can see it's now working fine. Okay, you have just use vardam, go to your page, refresh the page. You can see it's now working fine. So in this way you can use the DB class. Make sure you always run your these type of script. For suppose if you are interacting with your models, you have to add this code inside your model. But for now I'm just executing all of my code here, or I have to create a model. For suppose I'm going to create an model. So in this time I'm saying for suppose my model. Make sure M is capital, first letter is capital, because we are going to create a class. So I'm saying class my model extends to CI model. So I'm just creating a method here. For suppose I'm saying my query. So I am going to execute each and every script by calling this method. Make sure I'm my query, that means I'm talking about query builder. So don't worry, I'm going to explain each and everything. So before accessing this model, you have to load this model globally. So go to your config, auto load, and at the bottom you can load your model. For suppose my model. So make sure M is capital. Go to your page, controller. Now you don't need to call the DB class here. So I'm just calling the my model. Make sure this is the model name which we have just created, and now I have to call this query. So go to your query builder. So this is your query builder. First of all, they are saying you can call or you can get all the tables data by using this get method. So how can you use this method? I'm saying this db, I'm saying get. You just need to specify, or you can pass one argument here, your table's name. So in this time I'm saying users. Okay, now I'm returning my this result, return. Make sure we are at the model. So we have created our query inside our my query methods, and we are calling this query method inside our home controller. So make sure we are returning the value here, and we are just add to query result. So what I need to ORM and provide the query record. Okay, this is the query record, result query, which you are fetching from the database. So go to your page, refresh the page. You can see my model, undefined, my model, home.php, my model, because M is capital. Okay, refresh the page. You can see we are getting all the object. So since you are getting the object, how can you fetch the results? I'm saying that for each your result, and now I am saying result as object, or I'm saying my user or user. Now I'm saying user ID. Echo this out, refresh the page. Sorry, this is method. Refresh the page. You can see you are getting 1 and 2 a record. if I'm using refresh the page, you can see you have your 1 2 records. Go to your localhost, write php-myadmin, hit your database, and you hit your table. So now you can see you have only 2 records, 1 and 2. You can also echo your other columns. Other columns are username, email, and password. In this time I'm saying username and I'm saying password. Okay, go to your page, refresh the page. You can see it's saying 1 Shekzi KK. You can see 1 Shekzi KK. So 1 Shekzi KK, we have 2 records. If you are adding 1 record again, you can say I'm saying Anam, and I'm saying anam@hotmail.com or something like this, and I'm saying password is also KK. Refresh the page. You can see we are now getting all the records. Why you are getting all the records? Because you are telling, oh, go to your users and fetch all the record. You are by calling this get method. Okay, so you are fetching the record. You are showing the record inside your controller. First of all, why? Because you are calling the models method. This is your model, this is your method. So this is your model, this is your method. So I think this is enough for today. In the next lecture we are going to explain further how can you use further methods to get your records from the table. So I think this is enough for today. Thank you for watching.